Okay, this is an update on the Milwaukee Aftermarket 9 amp hour batteries. And this is going to be video number 2. And I want to go over an issue with the circuit board and try and explain it. And these are built missing screws. So I think I figured out why they didn't put a screw in the circuit board. It's a contributing factor to what was going on before my prior video with the circuit board contacts not meeting, sitting high enough up in the deck. Okay, so there's our deck. Okay, let me explain what happened to me. So on this battery here, we were not able to get it to charge. Okay, so the charger would flash green and red. I'm like, well, what's going on? You know, it's a brand new battery. And so anyway, I decided to take it apart because my response from the seller on Fleabay was nil. I'm like, what's the warranty on the battery? Well, he didn't respond, of course. So I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll fix it. And I thought, well, maybe it's the batteries, but no, it's not the batteries. And by the way, there are 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 batteries. So even if you bought Samsung's top of the line batteries at $10 a piece, you're at $150 just to buy batteries for this thing to replace them. So if you're thinking about buying like an M12 that's got bad battery packs in it, you're looking at $150 just to put batteries in it. So probably a better option just to buy the new battery and have a warranty on it. Anyway, here we are. So what happened in this instance, I've covered the contacts with tape. I'm not going to take the electrical tape off, but one of these contacts going to the battery bank had failed, and it's very, very thin wire. I mean, one of the things I've never been impressed with on Chinese manufactured products is the gauge of the wire they use. I mean, it's just incredibly thin, and it's very, very brittle. Probably a higher tin content than what you really want, but and less copper, so that's why they're so brittle and break all the time. But at the contact point here to the battery bank, it actually broke. And it wasn't noticeable until you touched it, because there was only one wire feeding through that was still connected to the solder, so you had to touch the wire itself for that final wire to break, right? And then lo and behold, I knew what the problem was. So I resoldered this contact here, but I put tape over it because what I really should do is I should put some foam, really thin foam on here, but I don't have any of this really thin foam. You see it here on the side? That's what they should do when they manufactured these, is cover these contact points. There's 2 on each side here. You see the white wires? And they should have covered those with a thin layer of foam to protect them so they're not bouncing around when you put the battery in and out of the device or in and out of the charger. So another problem that I described earlier in my other video is going to be that these contacts don't sit high enough in the deck. Okay, so if you look at them in their seating position here, that's about as high as you're going to be able to get them. Why is this not getting lined up? Okay, so let's see if I can try and show you. Now, it is possible. You can see where I moved these two up. See, the one side's negative, one side's positive. I did grab the little needle nose and pulled those up so they sit a little bit higher. But I also put a piece of rubber under here. This is actually from an inner tube from a bicycle to raise the deck, or not the deck, but the contacts in the circuit board closer to the deck. Okay, openings. Okay, higher up, so that way it'll sit up higher in the deck. See? So, but when I was fiddling around with this, and I hadn't noticed it before because I didn't really scrutinize the board, we're missing a mounting screw in here. So if I was going to take this board off and flip it over and see if I could find any burnt contacts until I found that broken wire. But if you look right here, come on, baby. See that right there? There's supposed to be a screw there. So let me take this off, if I can show you. Get this off. I just had this off a minute ago. Now it's not wanting to come off. Bear with me. I'm going to get this thing to come off. There it goes. Okay, so this comes off. Okay. And that's your contact isolation device. That's what I'm going to call it. And if you look here, we've got a couple of screw holes. And scrutinizing these screw holes, there's actually a, if we can get this to go now, you can see down in there. Maybe not. Come on, focus. Anyway, there's mounting points underneath there. You can't see them, but I can see them. See if we can get the angle. You can see part of one right there. Okay, so why would they not put the screw up here to hold the circuit board? You know, there should be at least two to hold the circuit board. This is my opinion. If that screw were installed on this circuit board, these contacts would sit too low in that deck, and they wouldn't make contact. So to solve the problem, instead of re-engineering it, they just took their bad design, in my opinion. They removed the screw so that would not pull down on the circuit board to lower the contacts in the deck. I mean, wow, amazing, right? That's going to be my guess. Otherwise, they just forgot to put screws in the circuit board on this side of the circuit board, which I find it hard to believe that they would do that on purpose. You know, usually there's a reason why stuff winds up being left out on designs. So I'm going to assume that if that screw is inside there on the right side, that would pull that circuit board down just a little bit more. Now, it's not going to bounce up and down like it was a minute ago, okay, because I got the rubber under here. Without the rubber, this circuit board will move up and down on this side. So if you have a screw in and it pulls it closer to the batteries, it's going to sit lower in the deck housing, right? And it's not going to make contact. So I think one of the engineers just said, well, remove the front screw and then this will sit up a little bit higher because it won't be snug to the body of the housing here for the batteries. So that's my take on it. Anyway, if you're having problems with this thing, I put a little piece of rubber up underneath. Now, if you look here, or tubing, it's under the circuit board, okay? You see that? Just under circuit board to give it some lift. And that's all we're doing there. Now, I'm not going to fiddle with these. As I stated in a prior video, you could probably desolder those, but I mean, and resolder them in where they sit a little higher. I don't know how long the pins are on the opposite side of the circuit board on these contacts. That sure is a lot of work for a battery. But yeah, there you have it. So let's take another closer look at this thing. Come on, focus. Hold on. Yeah, so we've got one hole here going through here, and that would line up with this hole that's closest to us here. See it? Right there, bottom right. Now, is it possible there would have been another screw up underneath there on the circuit board here in the center? No, I don't think so, because if there was supposed to be one there, this would have been countersunk on that center position here to accept that screw head, unless it was a flush mounted type screw. So anyway, there it is. So hopefully that helps some people out. If your unit's not, you know, charging and giving you problems, check your contacts. There's 4 of them here. Make sure they're not broken and detached from the soldering point, or just the wires are broken and enough of them are not making contact to the soldering point to complete the circuit. Okay, so check those. If you want, put a little piece of cardboard or something up underneath here, and that'll facilitate keeping this circuit board a little bit higher on that end. Make those contacts make contact. I'm not going to put a screw in here. I'm not going to fiddle with it. I could, but I'm not going to. It could be that they want this to move around, and if the screw was in there, on the original design, it was causing something to crack. So they might have removed the screw for that reason too, to allow this to have more movement. So hopefully this helps somebody out and you're dealing with this on these 9 amp hour power tool batteries. This is the model. All right, over and out.